The benefits of reading people are endless. It helps you stay away from potential threats, clever manipulation, and verbal conflicts. It also helps you make better decisions, learn leadership qualities, win high-stake negotiations, and close more sales in your business. Reading people is one of the best skills you can learn in your lifetime. Although reading people is cool, it can be challenging to learn and master. If you stare at people without letting them know that you are reading them, they might doubt your intentions. And if you tell a person that you are reading their body language, they may become conscious of it and feel threatened, resulting in inaccurate conclusions. We all want to be Sherlock Holmes, but the reality is that reading people is a skill, and it takes time to get used to. But don't worry, in this video, I'll share 9 best books that can help you master ninja techniques that you can use to read people and dive into the depths of their minds. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's get started. Book number 1, How to Analyze People with Dark Psychology by Jacob Anderson. Please don't be afraid of the term dark psychology. It's just psychology. Psychology is a tool used by people of all kinds, both good and bad. Almost all businesses and political parties exploit our psychological weaknesses to manipulate us and promote their products, services, and propaganda. It's so subtle that we often fail to recognize it. We don't always act logically. We all have minds with desires and fears. Anyone with a decent understanding of psychology can manipulate us by slowly triggering our emotions and feeding us lies. For these reasons, reading this book is crucial to avoid manipulation or deception. This book explores the dark psychology, including the different methods and techniques of persuasion and manipulation, such as how psychologists, mentalists, and fortune tellers use cold reading to read people. Book number 2, Reading People by Anne Bogle. Most books focus on reading body language, but this one focuses on reading the personality of a person. A person is more than just a body. We all have feelings, emotions, and specific traits that make us all different. We all have a personality type that can change over time. But the prerequisite to reading personalities properly is that you first understand your own personality. Usually, we immediately start analyzing other people without first assessing ourselves. And this is often why we fail to assess others correctly. This book delves into understanding different personality types. It explores how to identify them, why it's important to focus on your strengths, how identity shifts occur, and the various personality frameworks. These topics will help readers develop their interpersonal skills and learn to read people better. Book number 3, How to Read People Like a Book by James W. Williams. Imagine if you could enter a room full of people and instantly be able to guess what everyone is thinking in their minds. Wouldn't that be a superpower? This book claims to help you do just that. It might sound impossible at first, but we all have unconscious beliefs that manifest in our actions. People don't realize how snap decisions are made without thinking all the time. Have you ever seen a crime thriller show and wondered how the cool detective protagonists figure out what's going on in the suspects' minds and stay one step ahead? Well, this book will not only teach you about body language, but also help you connect with other people and see things from their perspective. This book covers a range of topics to help you better understand people. It includes discussions on personality and its types, advantages and pitfalls of reading body language, how culture impacts personality, how to find out a person's personality type, the various myths related to reading body language, and so much more. Book number 4, What Everybody Is Saying by Joe Navarro. Our body says more than we do. This book will teach you guidelines that will help you read people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions by picking up cues or signals that they unconsciously give through body posture and movements. We might not realize how our torso, hips, chest, lips, shoulder, hands, feet, etc. tell how we are feeling at any given moment. For example, when we are threatened, we tend to unconsciously lean away our torso. Another example, when we are comfortable with a person, we tend to move our torso closer to them and face in their direction. You may have noticed how many people compress and bite their lips when they are nervous or feeling frustrated. Consider how much you can learn about someone just by paying attention to their cues. If this interests you, you'll enjoy reading this book. This book has many images showing all types of gestures and postures, explaining what they mean. After reading this book, you will also develop keen observation skills. This book covers the essential aspects of reading people, including how to master nonverbal communication, understand the role of the limbic brain, detect deception, identify emotions from facial expressions and arm movements, and recognize the significance of torso shifts. It also provides useful do's and don'ts while reading people. Book number 5, The Secrets of Body Language by Philippe Turchet. This book is similar to Joe Navarro's What Everybody Is Saying. The author begins by exploring what emotions are and how to interpret them. Then, the rest of the book discusses topics such as gestures, body movements, etc. The book has 19 short chapters. If you buy it today, It won't take you more than 2 hours to finish it, probably even less. This book covers an array of topics related to reading people, such as how to read subtle emotions, the types of gestures and their meanings, whether body language is universal, and what our limbs and torsos tell about us. It's a comprehensive guide that follows the common principles of reading body language, helping you learn to read people more effectively. Book number 6, Reading People by Joe Ellen. People give clues all the time through their body language and subtle behaviors, but the question is, can you read them all? The author states that she has tested her methods on more than 10,000 subjects and predicted behaviors of thousands of judges, politicians, and others. And that's quite a good place to start, because these are usually people with great influence. After reading this book, you'll be able to tell if a speaker is lying or not by reading subtle cues. For example, you can observe their hairstyles and clothing, or how they behave in a certain way. This book has something for everyone. It covers a range of topics from understanding behavior patterns and making judgments at first impression, to learning how to frame questions to gain more insights about a person. It also explores the use of intuition to judge someone, as well as how to tell if someone is trying to read you. Book number 7, How to Analyze People by Daniel Spade. Ever thought why some people hide their true intentions and make you feel bad for their problems? Why do some people love to play victim? Well, according to Daniel Spade, that might be a sign of manipulation. Manipulators often use such dirty techniques to manipulate people. This book helped me realize that persuasion and manipulation are not very different from each other. It's just a matter of the intention of the other person. Manipulators can persuade you to do something for their selfish cause, even if it's not good for you. In this book, you'll learn simple rules that will help you catch sneaky tactics used by manipulators and detect any suspicious behavior of the people around you. This book covers the laws of manipulation, including the dark side of manipulation, and also discusses how to deal with manipulators in your life. Book number 8, Read People Like a Book by Patrick King. The author claims to make you a mind reader. According to the author, if you read this book, you'll be able to enter the minds of other people and find out what they are thinking or going to do. The author begins the book by saying how some people seem to have magical ability of reading people. But we all know reading people is just a skill, right? The problem with this book is that, if you are new, you'll find the book alright, but if you have read even one book about reading people before this, you'll have an idea of what the author is going to say next. For example, the book starts by discussing what motivates people to act, which is very common. A marketing guy or even someone with a little knowledge of psychology will already have that knowledge. But it's okay, as the book doesn't target experts. It targets a mass audience who has little idea about human behavior. This book covers a range of topics to help you better understand people, as it explains how to predict their behavior by understanding their motivations and observing them. Book number 9, Mind Reader by David J. Lieberman. These days, psychopaths and sociopaths know how to conceal their true intentions. If you know basic people reading techniques, chances are they know them too. It's too risky to rely on outdated techniques. Most books claim to teach you mind reading, but they fail because they assume many things. For example, they assume that a person is lying just because they are making too many movements. Do you really think a master criminal would make such a mistake in front of an FBI agent? Obviously not. He wouldn't be a mastermind criminal if he didn't know all the tricks of the trade. There are loopholes in how we draw conclusions about people by reading cues. Just because a person has a good vocabulary, it doesn't mean he is a good communicator. He might be pretending to impress others. The opposite is also true. Just because someone doesn't look like a genius and talks less, doesn't mean they aren't one. We assume many things and rely on old mind-reading tactics that don't work anymore. In fact, we are losing even basic people reading abilities as we interact more through our digital screens these days. This book brings you the latest techniques that will work anywhere if you apply them correctly. It covers a range of topics, such as how to read the subconscious mind of a person to understand their behavior, how to detect the mood of a person, how to recognize a bluff, who con artists are and how to spot them, how to identify psychological disorders, and how to interpret people's values and behaviors. There you have it. I'm sure these 9 books will help you read people effectively in any situation. I highly recommend you buy these books for better clarity. Do you think I missed an important book on this topic? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and bell icon to learn more insights from nonfiction books. See you next time. Thanks for watching.